Morning Mensa, I'm doing a video just for you. I wanted to show you just a few things I'm seeing in this online-offline application. This is an Android tablet. Published a base map layer out here as a TIFF to ArcGIS Online. A couple of shape files as hosted feature service in ArcGIS Online. There's Parks, which is the yellow. Actually it should be green, that's yellow. It's just because I just tapped it. And then there's the red, which are roads. So we've just been experimenting with it. The biggest thing I wanted to ask you about was the attribute inspector attached to the editor. Let me show you some things that are happening here that are funky. So if I tap that feature, actually let me do it again. Where's my pen? There we go. Oh, let's not do that. That's a road. There. Okay, so that's a park. This attribute inspector here is part of the editor, like I said. If I pan the map, first thing you see is that jumping. If there's a lot of attributes in there, that jumps like crazy. I'd like to fix the point so it's just to the right or just to the left and doesn't move around. Jan was saying that we need to build a custom component, which I'll talk about in a second. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. You can see these boxes, the text boxes extend beyond the side of the panel here. That's problem number two. Number three is if there's combo boxes in this data, it doesn't work on a mobile device. Now we've got Eskimo here that we could potentially use, but again we'd need to build a custom component to be able to do that. Or any thoughts you've got. Scrolling, if there's a lot of attributes in there, there's no scrolling that we see, it's just this great big long box. So there's a number of things which lend themselves to a custom component, but I don't see how we can make the attribute inspector in the editor a custom component. It looks like a read-only, so I was going to ask you about that. That's a reasonable issue with what we've been trying to do, this attribute inspector. What else was I going to show you? Okay, something else I wanted to show you was this. We've got a system here where you can actually just switch between layers. We've got two editable layers, the parks and the roads. If we actually hit the parks, as if we were going to add a feature, and now we deselect Cottonwood Parks, which should turn off the editor. Let's see if I can do that. You will notice that the editor is still on. Haven't found a way to turn the editor off in that scenario. It looks like it's I think it is the edit tool that's still on, and we cannot find a way to actually turn that thing off when we do that. I tried to do a fake a map click, and that errored out. So any thoughts there will be good. Actually, let's just draw something. Maybe I'm not going to be able to get rid of it. Yeah, see, it kind of crashes the application eventually. So that's something I wanted to mention to you. Let me put a pause and I'll continue this video in a second one, actually, if I can get this working. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a couple of things. That error's out. I'm going to do that. I wanted to see if we could find a fix for that one. I'm just going to reload the app. Another thing we've got, we actually we were talking to Jan about the TPKs and the fact you can't zoom into 18 and 19, and it's something that was, I know, on your blog. We wanted to we fixed that, so that's good. So we can zoom into the TPK, and I'll show it to you in a second. One thing that we notice is that ArcGIS Online doesn't support those extra layers. So when you zoom into this, and I'll show it to you now. We lose the we get to a certain level, and there we go. So we've lost it, which is somewhat annoying that we can't go even closer, but I don't know if there's anything we can do about that. Let's just go offline and I'll show you the TPK. So this is just loading the TPK in the background and the feature layers, obviously. Take a second. And we can zoom into this more closely, which is good. I mean, ultimately I think what we're going to have to do is just cut off the TPK zoom to the same level as ArcGIS Online. So there's the TPK, so we've got that zoom. When you get really close into a TPK, it crawls. There's a real lag So let me see if I can show you. And eventually it actually crashes. So I'm going to just zoom into here, and you can see it's really good definition. It takes a minute to, there we are, it crashed the app. So I don't know what's going on in there when you get in close to TPKs, but if you pan, it really drags. Like I was expecting it to be quick, and it isn't. It's really slow. And then eventually, if you're getting too close, it crashes. So we're going to have to set it at a higher zoom level. But I wanted to show you that in case you had any thoughts there. Okay, there was one other thing I was going to mention to you, and that is complex polygons. So I've got we've just been mucking around here with this is Utah. This is the same application. I've just loaded some other data into it. Let's hit the edit mode of this. These are school districts. Now if I tap, I want to see the attributes of this feature. So let me tap it, and we'll wait. And well, we need some background music now, so you can wait, and we'll wait. What's going on here is it's getting. Well, it looks like it's trying to get all those indices into place, and it just brings the application to a crawl. Not only does it take forever to load the attribute inspector, which you see in here, but it also, when you actually pan and zoom, the application's almost unusable. So I'm wondering what we can do about complex polygons. I mean, people are, is there a way in the app to actually, I think for some reason in my mind there's a way to simplify these things, but I'm not sure how we do it. If we don't control the data, how do we get past complex polygons? I mean, either we simplify the polygon itself, so it's no longer as complex, or we disable that edit ability of the outline, so you can only edit the attributes or add a feature, delete a feature. You can't actually do the edits to the actual polygon itself. So that's one thing. I mean, you can see there it is. It's finally come up, and it'll load that attribute box eventually. I mean, that is, at the minute, that's unusable in that state. So I'm wondering if you've got any great thoughts about how, there we go, how we could actually get past that. If I try and pan that, you can see it just, I mean, it'll catch up, but it's pretty much unusable in that state. So it means that anything that's complex is going to be a huge problem on a mobile. So there are a number of things I was going to ask you about, to see if you've got any thoughts on how we might get past some of that stuff. And I will send this to you and see if we can set up a quick call and have a chat about it. Thanks.